a question we get sometimes is, how do I teach my teenagers a concept of money and how far it goes? Like, they eat a ton of food, excuse me, and they don't care how much it costs. They open the cupboard and it's there and it doesn't compute. First off, I'm going to say, I know adults like that, but we're going to backtrack because we're going to talk about your teenagers. Okay, so here is an exercise that I did and that my mom kind of inadvertently did for my brother and I when we were younger. As I mentioned in some of these, I didn't grow up with a lot of money. In fact, there was a time in my childhood we had to hide where we lived because if anybody found out, it would have been condemned. So anyway, we didn't have a lot of money. There's a small town by here, and the pharmacy would send out, they were about this big, maybe that big, these coupon books in the mail. And we had such fun looking through theirs, and there would be like a coupon for a Kit Kat bar for whatever they were then, like they were normally 50 cents, so it'd be like 40 cents or something, super exciting. Anyway, and I remember one time my mom came home and she gave my brother and I each $5 and our own coupon book, and we could go into the pharmacy because it's a small town pharmacy, so they had a little bit of everything, and we could spend whatever we wanted with the coupon book and our $5. It was around Halloween. I will just never forget that because it was so fun, and it felt like we had $1 million is how it felt. And running from aisle to aisle and flipping through the coupon book, seeing how much more we could make our $5 last was huge. So for us it was super exciting, and for my mom it was something that she could bless us with at the time with limited means. But the lesson there was the same. It was it was how much could we put with the money. To her it was splurging. To us it was like winning the lottery. But the skills developed there, and the thing that stuck was you don't have to, what can you get with this? There's different ways to go about it. I think I even found something on clearance on one of their back aisles. We were so excited, and then my brother and I compared what we had gotten with our $5. So I wanted to teach this lesson to my kids, but we are not in the same state. Like, they knew if they said, Mom, can I get this fancier food, whatever, there's a fair chance they're going to get it because it's probably going to be in our budget, whereas in my childhood it wasn't. So I came up with an idea. I was going to do the same thing, except they were going to make dinner. First of all, I have 4 kids. This got me out of making dinner for 4 nights that week. Bonus. But they each had $10, and they each had to come up with a dinner that would feed all 6 of us. So we went into the grocery store. I gave them each their $10, and they each had a basket, and they got to go. Now, they had known that this was going to be the objective. We didn't roll up to the grocery store and then I sprung this on them. They knew this what it was. So they were already thinking of different ideas. I'm really not sure if any of them got online and checked prices or sales ads. I have no idea. But they each took off. They each had a plan. And I just kind of hung out by the checkouts because when they came up, there was a fair chance, out of 4 that one of them would go over. But they all did good. And they all, ended up with something that fed all 6 of us with their $10. And it was great. Honestly, I don't even remember what we had. I'm sure one of them would have made spaghetti or macaroni and cheese. Pasta is fairly affordable. But they each had something besides, a main dish. They each had at least one side. They all did very, very good. And it was fun for them. And then when they got back home, they had to cook. And I was there to help if they needed. It wasn't that they had to do it all by themselves, but they had to be in charge of the dinner. And that was such a great time, watching them come up and double check their things, and and then them making dinner, and they were all so proud of what they could do. So that was one of our successful parenting things, to have them learn money. Now, there's been several other lessons, and nobody has this 100%. By the time we hit car insurance, if they're used to dealing with $10 or $20 or maybe even $50, some might have done pet sitting and stuff and earned over $50, but still then they get hit with a car insurance bill for $130. It's not a relative number really, so there is that transition there, but it's a good foundation and a good basis. And then when they get older and it's their money, then they've got a little bit something to draw on, and something as they start weaving those mental things of getting these bigger numbers and monthly expenses that are now going to be every month. they have a frame of reference at least somewhere. And again, I got 4 dinners.